Okay, Man United just lost to 10-man Newcastle, and the most frustrating part is United had this entire second half with an extra player. They still couldn't win the goddamn game. Newcastle 2, Man United 1. And the game started fairly even. United had spells of possession, but Newcastle looked dangerous whenever they moved the ball quickly enough. The game exploded right before half time. First half, stoppage time. Newcastle's Jacob Ramsey receives a second yellow card for simulation. Newcastle down to 10 men. At that moment, I'm thinking, yeah, dancer. Let's fucking do this. But in another moment later, Newcastle take the lead. Gordon wins a penalty, a foul from Fernandes. He steps up, he scores Newcastle 1-0 despite having 10 men. But United respond almost immediately. Bruno Fernandes, free kick. Casemiro rises in the box, puts it into the net. He's brilliant from set pieces. Casemiro, we're going to miss that next year. Please don't leave. But anyway, half time, 1-1. Newcastle, 10 men. I'm thinking, we're going to go out there, we're going to do them. Second half comes, but the control never arrived. United had more of the ball. The final numbers show 55% possession, 14 shots, 12 for Newcastle, 5 shots on target each. But despite the extra player, United didn't create the dominance you would expect. Newcastle stayed compact defensively, still carried a threat when they broke because they got pace up front. In fact, at times it didn't look like Newcastle were a team that had 10 men. They actually got better when they went down to 10 men. One player who did do okay was the guy who gave away the penalty, Bruno. He was his fucking creative genius self. I believe he created 8 chances for his teammates during the entire game. I think that's a record this season, the most he's done anyway, probably the most anyone's done. Delivered it into Casemiro for the equalising goal, created opportunities for multiple people. Lenny Euro missed a sitter, and Buemo missed a sitter, all created from this man. What we're going to do is try and replace this guy when he eventually decides to leave because he's our star. No doubt about it. But another guy who has insane numbers but on a different fucking attribute. It was remarkable. Cunha had, let's fucking listen to this. He contested 27 duels. 27 fucking duels for an attacker. That's absolutely insane. Attackers are usually getting like 10 duels or whatever. He contested 27. He won 17. I think the record in the Premier League right now is Elliot Anderson. I think he has about 200 duels to his name. And please, Man United, go out and buy this boy. Get him and get fucking Wharton as well. Get both of them. Be greedy. Go for it. But anyway, back to the game. It's an extremely high number for an attacking player, and it shows how physical and chaotic the match was, but it also shows how hard this man works. He doesn't always get the headlines, doesn't always score the goals or get the assists, but he absolutely puts in a shift every single goddamn game. Even with all that, even with Bruno creating chances, with Cunha absolutely just going out there with boxing gloves on, we struggled to get anything going. Then late in the match comes a decisive moment. 90th minute, William Osula receives the ball, drives forward, cuts inside. Tyrell Malacia just kind of like waves him on, says, "On you go, pal. They're not fucking playing me anyway. Go and score. Do it for me." And he went on and he did. He curled it round Maguire, I think it was, right into the corner. And again, I said it in one of my previous videos, every single goal that seems to get conceded by Le Mans seems to go right in the corner, off a post, side netting, something. It's remarkable. But anyway, Newcastle United take the lead 2-1, 90 minutes. A stunning late goal, to be fair. Brilliant strike, brilliant little run. Devastating for Man United. And Malacia, he cannot be allowed to play for this club again. Get him out now. Just pay off the rest of his contract and kick him out the fucking door. The Carrick after the match, he was direct in his assessment. Some decent bits of play, but we need to get better. And so United had the advantage, extra player for the entire second half, more possession, more territory, but Newcastle produced the decisive moments and they defended their lead. They played better with 10 men. For Man United, the result, it's Carrick's first defeat since taking charge. Has the bubble burst? Is that us back to reality? Back down to ground level with a bang anyway? For Newcastle, well, who cares about Newcastle? From a United perspective, this was a game that was there to be won. 10 men Newcastle, an entire second half, and somehow, even with Bruno creating the most chances he's ever created in a match, with Cunha absolutely going out there and battering everybody, we cannot score a goddamn goal. Maybe it's just one of those games. You get those games sometimes where shit just doesn't work and you lose. But anyway, I'm going to do player ratings now. A couple of them done okay. Most of them were exceedingly average. One or two quite poor. Let's get into it. Okay, starting with Lamens, he had a fairly solid night overall. There wasn't much you could do realistically about the penalty or Osula's late finish. It was a brilliant finish. His handling was genuinely secure, didn't make any real major mistakes. His distribution's a wee bit hit and miss, but overall, he's solid. I'm going to give him a 7.4. Now for Mazraoui, and he's been biding his time, waiting for Dalot to get dropped so he can come in. He kept possession well, helped United maintain territory. He controlled his defensive duties fine, but going forward, he was pretty poor. We were playing against a 10-man Newcastle United, and the fullbacks should have been hammering forward. But, it was solid, not decisive. 6.2. Now for Luke Shaw, and he supported United's possession play quite well from the left-hand side. Against 10 men, we wanted more from him. He should have been bombing forward, attacking the penetration runs from that left side. He never really done it. It never materialised at all. Technically solid, but not influential at all. And attacking-wise, non-existent. For me, a 5.9 for Shaw. Okay, now for Harry Maguire, and he dealt with the aerial situations and he helped United maintain pressure during the second half. Newcastle didn't really create many central chances. Most of their work came on the flanks, so defensively he wasn't heavily tested. Overall, a steady performance in the back line. Had to keep an eye on young Euro, and he did. A 7.1 for Maguire. Okay, now for Lenny Euro, and I did not expect him to make the team after that last performance where he was absolutely dog shit. But he handled Newcastle's forward runs well for most of the match. He was comfortable bringing the ball out from the back. He reads danger effectively. He helps the defence stay organised. And he kept an eye on Newcastle for the counter-attacks with his pace. He just needs to bulk up in the summer. He needs to be able to fight more. He's a good footballer. He's good with his feet. He reads the game well. He gets into good positions to make tackles. But he just needs to do the dirty side a little bit better. And he'll be okay. It was a composed performance from the centre-back, especially after last week. He would have been shitting it starting this game. I'm going to give him a 6.8. Now for Casemiro, and he produced one of United's most important moments when he got the goal. His equalising header from Bruno Fernandes' free kick brought United back level before half-time. And he also helped control midfield possession during the second half. He broke up several Newcastle transitions. One of United's stronger performances on the night and one of United's better players this season. It's absolutely embarrassing that one of Man United's best players is a 34-year-old midfielder. It's embarrassing. The rest of the team should be absolutely embarrassed. This guy keeps putting in performances week in, week out. Okay, he might have dipped now and again. But anyway, for this one, for being solid, wasn't the best midfielder on the pitch. That goes to Tonali, but he gets a 7.6. Now for Kobbie Mainoo, and he showed calmness and control in midfield. He circulated possession well. He helped United dominate the ball after the red card. There just wasn't many spectacular moments from him. He was cool. He was calm. He accelerated the tempo now and again, especially when Newcastle sat deep, which is exactly what they were going to do, and try and hit us on a break. It was a composed performance without a decisive moment. Not really any shots, not really any creative chances set up at all. So for Mainoo, a 6.2. Now for Bruno, he was United's main creative outlet, like he always is. Created 8 chances in this match, the highest of any player on the pitch, the highest in any game in the Premier League this season, I believe. And the delivery into the box for Casemiro, it was a brilliant little ball. Casemiro stuck it away. He did concede a penalty. He's getting marks off for that. It was just a clumsy little clash of legs. But creatively, the guy's an absolute genius. I don't know how he manages to get so many chances created every single game. I don't know how there's actually Man United fans out there that think this guy is just a fraud. For me, this guy's an absolute legend. He would get into any Man United team. In this match, though, 7.8 for Bruno. That's with him giving away a penalty. Now, one of my favourite players, Matheus Cunha, he produced one of the most impressive physical performances of the match, of the entire fucking season, especially from a forward. He contested 27 duels, he won 17 of them, which is an enormous number for any player, let alone an attacking player. That level of involvement shows how active he was across the pitch, how much we were in Newcastle's half, but there was no real quality when it comes to, creating. He had a couple of shots. I think one kind of drizzled along the ground. The keeper saved it, but there wasn't really any sort of impact creatively. So for that, he doesn't really score high. I'm going to give him a 7.1. I mean, you can't give him a bad score for his work rate. I mean, 27 duels. Come on. That's probably the most by any player in the Premier League this season. I've not got a clue who who was higher on that. I'm going to have to look into it maybe. But anyway, 7.1. Now for Brian and Buemo, he struggled. This was probably his worst match, I think, for Man United. He didn't really produce any decisive attacking moments. He had plenty of touches in advanced areas, but he failed to deliver anything of any sort of substance at all into the box. Never created any chances at all. And against 10 men, United need their attacking players to be a lot more clinical up front. This was one of his worst performances, and he gets a 5.6. Now for Ben Sesko, he found it difficult to influence the game consistently. And I mean, he's going to find it difficult when the three players behind him, well, two players behind him, because Bruno was doing bits. But when Mbuemo and Cunha aren't really contributing attacking wise, of course the striker is going to not really do much. He's not really getting on the ball. Newcastle's defence blocked his limited space, and he struggled to receive the ball in dangerous areas because the ball wasn't really coming to him. It was a frustrating night for the big man all in. I'm going to give him a 6.2. Okay, so overall, that was a really frustrating result for Man United. Newcastle go down to 10 men in the first half. We have this entire second half, a man advantage. We still can't take control of the game. There was positives. Casemiro's goal, the old man doing it again. Bruno creating record amount of chances. Cunha fighting like an absolute mongrel. But ultimately, losing to 10 men is always going to raise serious questions. And ultimately as well, fucking Malacia needs to leave. We need to get rid of him. He's garbage. Do not let him play for this club again. Please, Carrick, don't. But anyway, let me know your player ratings in the comments. Let me know if you think I got anyone drastically wrong.